name is Amy Stone. I'm a Surehands user. I have cerebral palsy, which means my brain and my body do not communicate. My muscles have a mind of their own.
Prior to getting the Surehands, everything was being done manually, from caregivers, ourselves, from anybody that was taking care of Amy. And it just got to a point where Amy was getting older and we realized that we needed to get something to help us with transitions.
Transferring is an art form that not everyone knows how to do. And it started to limit my caregiving pool.
If you transition somebody between chairs or bed to chair, that should take a couple minutes. If it takes 10 minutes to put all the straps on to do something that takes a couple minutes to do, people will tend to basically start doing it manually. And that's not the safe way to do it.
When you're in a piece of equipment where you have to wear something, you're also at the mercy of the caretakers or staff that have to know how to put that safety harness on you.
And when we saw the Surehands at the therapist's office, we're like, wow, that's quite a contrast. It takes at the most a minute. It was safer probably than the convoluted straps and nets. So it was a pretty simple, wow, okay, that's what we want type of thing.
Yeah, we need that.
Yeah.
I was so happy when we found the Surehands because it's not so bulky. I was just able to use it to enhance my mobility and independence.
When I was kind of in my I can do it, I just kind of plopped Amy into her wheelchair. And it was when we got the Surehands and I could gently place her down, she was like, Mom, that feels so much better. And here I was like, how selfish, right? Like, I can do it, but meanwhile, it wasn't the best thing for her.
Having a piece of equipment that could safely lift Amy, do the transitions, then it opened a bigger world of possibilities for the people that we would bring into the house to provide her care.
Now friends can do it and they're comfortable, because prior to that, they weren't comfortable.
Anybody can use it, so it's not just us. So that does relieve her stress and makes her much happier as a person.
It takes away the fear of falling. That's a big thing. It takes away the fear that I'm going to end up down on the ground.
The Surehands makes Amy feel secure and safe, which just means everything, right? Because prior to the Surehands, there was spills where she fell, and that's not good. Amy uses many pieces of equipment. She has a stander, she has a wheelchair, she has her bike, she has a power chair. The Surehands by far is the most reliable piece of equipment. In the 10 years that we've had it,
never had a period of time where it wasn't operational. Amy feels that stress and effort that people make, and that affects her experience too.
It removes the stress from everything, and it just makes it more enjoyable from the get-go. If it was a beautiful Saturday afternoon and Amy's like, Mom, I want to go bike riding, and then if nobody else is around, then you say, Amy, sorry, this isn't really, it's not a good time, which is just something that you don't want to have to say to somebody, because she relies on somebody for everything. So when we had it installed in the garage, and we can just get her on it so easily, she's like, I want to go on a bike ride. Sure, let's do it.
Having a bike that I could just go on and pedal away and not have to worry about everything was kind of a healing thing for me. Because I have fun being on wheels that a lot of other people use too. I have fun being in the mix with the other bikers as well.
It takes the stress out of our life. It removes frustration, after a long day when she's ready to go to bed. There's times when I actually said, "Oh, you ready to go to bed now?" Just because I knew that I was getting exhausted and that it just needed to happen. And then when you use the Surehands, it's just, it makes all the difference in the world. And it's actually so much that it's spoiled us, because now when we go out, it's, you're like, oh, if I could only bring it with me, right? To make those transitions easier.
To have a reliable set of Surehands can really help me throughout my everyday life. I know the expression is stand out, but I don't want to sit out either. I want to find a way to include myself in as much as I possibly can.
And to say, oh, you're passionate about a piece of equipment. Yes, I am. So much that I want to sit here and talk about it, because it has made all the difference in the world.